Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and I'm Mama Loves You GB here on Flosstube, and this is day 15, December the 15th. We are marching on till Christmas, so it's going to be quite a long one today I think, so you might want to grab yourself a brew. I have got FFOs, I've got a finish, I have got the winners of the Galliana cross stitch competition, I have got the thread advent and freebie charts and so much stuff to show you. So like I say, grab yourself a brew, get comfy and settle in. Oh, that is a good cup of tea. Right, I'm going to start off with my competition winners. So a few days ago I launched a competition with thanks very much to Galliana cross stitch, who gave me a free copy of these two charts. So the Welsh dresser was one chart and the Christmas castle was the other chart, and you had to just put in your comments either dresser or castle, and so I did the random YouTube comment picker thingy-mabob, and I had 153 comments for the dresser, and the winner for that was Tam Savage. So Tam, I've left a comment on your comment, and if you can get in touch with me I will see about getting you your copy of the chart either by PDF or by printed chart if you're in the UK, if you want a printed chart. If not, you can have a PDF. And the winner of the castle, there was 145 entries for the castle, and that was Renita Hall. Now I'd left a message on Renita's comment and she's actually already been in touch with me, and so she's in Texas, so I shall be sending her out a copy of the PDF tomorrow. So congratulations to both of you, and Tam, if you get in touch with me I'll get your chart out to you somehow, some way in the next couple of days. So if you weren't a competition winner, and not everyone can be a competition winner obviously, these two charts, the castle and the Welsh dresser, are available on the Galliana cross stitch Etsy store, so you might want to just go along and grab them because they are so lovely. Right, I feel I've got my business done now. I'm going to start off by showing you my finish. I showed you this one yesterday and I was pretty much there, and I have done the last little bit. I've put the M on and I have finished it off. I'm really pleased with it. So I did give it an iron, but as you can see I haven't done a very good job. It says meet me under the mistletoe. Now you know how your phone listens. I'm convinced that your phone listens to you, and if you've been talking about something it will show you things to do with that particular thing. Not even if you've searched for it, but even if you've been talking about it. And it showed me a meme, you know, one of those funny picture things. And obviously this chart is called Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. What the meme said was, I wouldn't kiss you under general anaesthetic, let alone mistletoe. And I took that as a bit of a, I was hurt by that. I thought, thanks very much, you know, all your best artificial intelligence, and you just want to insult me. Marvellous. So that is Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. So the green is a Threadworks green that I showed yesterday, which may very well, still be kicking around here. Thankfully I'm not one of those people who tidies up after every floss tube. So that's the green, beautiful variegated green, which is 1048. And the red is DMC 304, which is my favourite of the Christmas red since I did the Santa's Trip Sal by Barbara Anna, and she uses the 304 and I love that. So I shall be finishing this up tomorrow. I did quite a bit of finishing today, and sneakily I've not put my stuff away, so I'm hoping for another day's finishing tomorrow. And I think this is just going to be just a long thin pillow to go on top of the mantelpiece because I like it. Right, I am going to show you my finish, my FFO, and then the other two pieces that I've FFO'd, they're going to be my past finishes because I finished them between, what did we say, December last year and November this year. It's just I just FFO'd them, so those are going to count as my past finishes. So this one, I think a lot of people seem to have been hotly anticipating this one, and this is the Santa's Cup freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin Blogspot. I can't say that. I don't think I've said it right once. And I had stitched it on a piece of kind of turquoisey 32 count that I had hand dyed, and I had changed the way that I was doing it. Now the one thing I haven't got is any candy canes. I'm gonna have to get some candy canes tomorrow and I'll show you it with candy canes in. But this is what the original design looks like, and it's got a Christmas tree and some sewn candy canes there. So I've taken the Christmas tree and the sewn candy canes out, and I made the front bit. Now I've stuffed this with walnut shells, so it is quite a tight fit. So there's my little pocket. I'm going to stick my candy canes and some sort of Christmas tree picks and things like that in there. And this is the fabric that I was waiting on that actually came today. So I think it's a Moda fabric. I can't tell you what the name of it is unless you're desperate, in which I can look it up. But it's just a candy cane fabric with reds and pinks. I've got an itchy nose. And then, as I said I would do, I just made the front bit into a pocket, and it is, I don't know if you can actually see in there, it is lined in there with the same fabric, and then filled with walnut shells. And so I'm going to put some candy canes in there, and I will get some tomorrow and I will show you again what it looks like. But I'm really, really pleased with the way that's turned out. It's got little white snowflakes on the top there, and then green all the way around. So I'm really pleased with that one. And I just want to say thank you actually to the Saltbox Stitcher, Carol. I normally want to say thank you to Brenda. I want to say thank you to Brenda for lots of things, but this particular occasion I want to say thank you to Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, who on her own video that was either released today or yesterday showed me how to do a blind hem. And I made a much better job of finishing, rather than doing a whip stitch over the top. I made a much better job of finishing it because I wanted to finish this one on the top rather than on the bottom, because on the bottom there is like 4 different layers of fabric on there. There's that one, there's the lining, there's this top one, and then there's this one. So that would have been much harder to sew together. So I knew I had to finish it on the top, which has just literally got the two fabrics meeting. So she showed me today how to do a blind seam. I think it was a blind seam. So I'm very happy with that. Thank you very much. Right, let's have a look at the thread advent, because I'm going to leave you with my the FFOs that I've done today, because I'm pretty pleased with them. So we are on to the 15th of December, which is it that one? It is that one. And ooh, a turquoise blue. Classic Colourworks, and this is Deep Fennel. Now I've had Deep Fennel before. It's a beautiful colour, like a real kind of turquoisey green. Lovely. Shall add that to my ring of all my threads. Oh, excuse me, just wet the whistle. Okay, freebie chart today is from Heartstring Samplery, and I've just got to find where I've put it. I've got a billion pieces of paper over here. Yeah, here we go. This is the one from Heartstring Samplery, and I'm actually going to hold it up with the board. It's just a, I could probably put it on the back of everything. Just a single piece of paper. Now this is called Auld Lang Syne by Heartstring Samplery by Beth Twist, and I'll put the link down below, and the colour photo of it stitched up, or the mock-up of it, I'll put up here so that you can see. But I think it's one that you could do any particular colours that you fancied, and the reason I've picked this one up is because I think that there's quite a few people who would gladly say cheerio to 2020 and really welcome 2021 in the hope of a better year. So this is what it looks like. So you've got a border sort of side and top, and it says, "We'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne." And then you've got a flower basket there, and you've got a series of different initials along the bottom there, and you can do that there. I think if you wanted to get rid of the initials, you could actually change it for the sake of Auld Lang Syne, and just put less initials on it. But I really like that one, so I might even do that one myself. I'm really enjoying this month actually just reacting to stuff, just seeing something, thinking, oh, I like that, I'll stitch it, and then I like that, I'll stitch that. So I've done quite a few smalls and things like that this month. I do need to get back to doing some bigger pieces, but yeah, I've just really enjoyed just that kind of whimsical, yeah, I'll do that, that'd be fun, and it's turned out great. So my last bit then is my previous finishes. So I finished both of these. You will have seen both of these as unfinished objects, but now I have finished them off. So I'm going to start off with this one. This one is from Tempting Tangles, and it's called S'mores Barbecue, and it was in an edition of the Just Cross Stitch magazine, and I'll put the details down below. And I hand dyed the fabric, used sort of random similar colours of thread, some of them are silks, some of them are just cottons, and then finished off. So this is my finish. It's just stuffed with fibre fill. I've quite heavily stuffed it, so it's quite firm, and I've used a trim and just sort of ruched it. So I just sort of stuck it round, put pins in it to try and get it and make sure I had enough and get it roughly in the places that I wanted it in. And then as I went round, I replaced the pins, I don't know if you can see, just with a little Mill Hill bead in a complementary kind of colour. And it is just a bit random, and I think that it really looks, it sort of reminds me of the flames of the fire. So it's just a piece of ribbon which has got an orange, a kind of a mesh bit in the middle, and then a burnt sort of burgundy there. And this one I did by sewing all the way around and then cutting a slit in the back. So this is my back. Now I'm not massively pleased with the back. I didn't know that I was going to put a trim around it, because if I'd known I was going to put a trim around it, I'd have just done the whip stitch closure, because that was before Carol showed me how to do the invisible seam. But I thought, oh, I don't know if I'm going to put a trim on it, so I decided to do that. And don't get me wrong, it almost looks like a tablecloth with a little place setting on it, isn't it? But yeah, if I was to do it again, I would do it slightly differently, just with the back, but the front and everything else I would leave exactly as it is, and that's the bit that's going to show. So we live and we learn. So that's my finish on that one. And then my last finish for today is by Plum Street Samplers, and it's called Yuletide Shanty. And this is what I have done with mine. So let's have a look. The idea is that you just make a drum. So that is what's on the pattern, that you just make a drum. So if I show you around, you've got the big sperm whale there with, and that is a big sperm whale, that's a lot of stitching, the little fishies and the little candy canes and the starfish tree, and then the sand at the bottom. And what I did was with the little fish, I don't know if you can see, all of their bubbles are done in tiny little Mill Hill beads. So they're all raised up Mill Hill beads there. And then what you're supposed to do is to put this on the bottom, which says, Old Saint Nick, he sails the seas, his beard grows long so he won't freeze. So you're supposed to put that on the bottom. I put some blue wool on the bottom, and then I put this on the top. Now I've just done a completely flat top, haven't done any padding or anything like that, just done a completely flat top. And then I put my ship in a hoop, a little 4-inch hoop, just put some of the backing, some of the wool backing on the back there. It's not brilliantly done, but you won't see it, so it don't matter. And then I just put some gingham ribbon on the top and a couple of little jingly bells. Now the reason that I didn't do it as it was supposed to be with this on the top is because this ship is actually quite a bit bigger than the bottom, than that. And what I didn't want was a big gap at the back of my drum, and I would have had to have had a bigger gap in order to make the top bigger, to make the ship fit on the top, because like you can see it's quite a bit bigger. So I decided that I would rather have my drum with a nice seam rather than a big gap at the back, and then have an extra little ornament to sort of put next to it. And I think, let me just swap them around, I think that as a little display item, that's really nice. And I followed Vonna Pfeiffer's tutorial for doing the drum, which is excellent. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And it's filled with walnut crystals and fibre fill. And it's nice and straight on the edges. And I'm so pleased to have this finished because I really love this design. So let's see if we can persuade YouTube into giving me a decent picture, because that's actually part of what I'm loving at the moment with the Advent. Is my Advent is when I go to load it up in the morning, or to publish it in the morning, to see what pictures YouTube have chosen for me today. So so we'll see if we can get a half decent picture. So yeah, Yuletide Shanty, stitch on 32 count. I think it's just a Zweigart grey. I think it's just called grey, but it's a bluey grey rather than a greyy grey. So that actually wasn't quite as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have more to waffle on about. So I've really enjoyed your company again. Thank you so much for all the messages of encouragement. It's been really lovely reading that you're enjoying the videos, and I'm having such good fun doing them. So until tomorrow, stay classy, Stitchers.